Hi, and welcome to my channel, Busy Bee Natural Remedies. My name is Karissa, and today I thought I would talk about how I manage stress. Now, a lot of people, they have different ways you can meditate. That is certainly an option. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people also tend to medicate to help their stress, which that would be the absolute last resort for me. As you know, I like to look for natural ways to help alleviate concerns in my life and health issues within my life and my family's life. Stress is a big thing, especially right now. There's a lot of things going on in the world today, and with the economy still not, booming, it's getting better, but there's still some struggles out there, and I realize this. My own family is going through some struggles when it comes to that kind of stuff. And so I'm not oblivious to the fact that people out there are stressed out to the max. My husband is one of them, and he stresses very easily, and it always concerns me. And it is concerning because when you stress out, you increase the cortisol levels in your body. And when those cortisol levels are high, that actually causes our body to hold on to the visceral fat, which is the belly fat that builds up over time. And then that turn causes, blockage of the pancreas and all that stuff, which then leads to type 2 diabetes. Of course, stress can lead to many other health ailments down the road, and a lot of people don't equate them to stress, right? They go, oh, I have heart issues not because I'm stressed, because of what I'm eating. Or is it because you are stressed and you are eating the way you're eating because you are stressed? Those are just some things that a lot of people don't think about, and no one ever wants to look at the potential root cause, the potential domino effect that they're seeing in their life. And it really could all stem back to one thing, and that is stress. Because when you're also stressed, you're not getting good enough sleep, or which then means your body's not being able to detox all the way, and you're not being able to get your full REM sleep, so your brain isn't able to reset fully every single night, and that over time builds, and that over time can really impact your overall health. And so what do I do to help alleviate stress? Well, here's the one thing that is very big for me, and I had to learn this. I didn't know this right off the bat, and the person who taught me this, her name is Jennifer Falah, and she is amazing. And if you want to look her up, she is on YouTube. But she actually teaches people how to let go of things and give it to God. Now, what do I mean by that? Do I mean, oh man, I'm having a really bad issue at work, it's stressing me out. I'm going to pray to God and say, God, help let this work out. Yes, you can pray to God and say, please help this work out. But what a lot of people don't do is they don't fully embrace giving it to God. A lot of people pray and say, well, I asked God for help, but then they still want to have control on how they see the situation turn out and how they see, the different steps it takes to get it to where they want to be. So they haven't really let it go. When I say let it go, I mean let it go. If something is stressing you out, take a deep breath. And, whether you call him God, creator, what have you, let him or her know that this, whatever it is that you're holding on to that is stressing you out, is too big for you. And just say, for me and my family, it's God. So I would just say, God, this right now is too big for me. I can't handle it. I need you to take it. You know what I need. You know how to get me there. I'm just going to give it to you. And then you give it to him and you let it go. You don't think about it. You don't try to dwell on how can you do things to make it, to change it. You just literally forget about it. And I promise you, you will see God work in your life to all of a sudden resolve your issue. And it may not be overnight. It may not be in a day or two. But all of a sudden, it may be a month down the road, and you're like, wait a minute, I totally forgot that was stressing me out, and it's been resolved. And you could just be like shocked, like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize. And it gets resolved in a way that you never even thought possible. So that is one thing that I would say, that's how I alleviate stress in my house, is, not only do I tell myself, but I tell my husband and my kids, I said, if it's too big for you and it's stressing you out, one, you stressing out about it is not going to help the situation. It's not going to help you figure out a solution. Because when you are stressed, your cortisol levels are high, and it's fogging up your brain, which means you can't methodically think through how to solve a situation if it's stressing you out. But when you give it to God and you just let it go, truly let it go, you'll find yourself all of a sudden either thinking of ways like, oh, I didn't think about that. Let's resolve it this way, and then it works, and then next thing you know, it's no longer a stress in your life. Or you just really let it go, and a door opens and someone else comes in your life, or something else comes in your life and solves whatever the issue is. You never even saw it coming, but it happens. I know it's not easy. I used to be a stressor, a huge stressor, all through childhood. Getting even a B on my report card would stress me out. That's how bad I was. In fact, my mom, when I was in junior high, took me to the doctor because I was having chest pains and she was afraid I was going to have a heart attack. And literally the doctor said, you need to stop stressing out. I was a distance runner and everything, and a soccer player, so I was in really good shape. But because I was so fixated on my grades, I stressed about them constantly. Of course, I didn't know these things I'm telling you now when I was a kid, but now I know them and I've seen it work in my own life. I have literally given things to God and said, it's too big for me. God, please just take it. And I can tell you, some of those things have been things in personally, things with my husband where I'm just like, I don't know what to do about this. God, take it. I kid you not. Sometimes within just a few days, and sometimes it's just in a month or two, all of a sudden I see the change that I wanted to see without even realizing it until I go, oh my gosh, I totally let it go. And God fixed it for me. One way or another, it was fixed. So that's, that is one way that you can try to help alleviate stress. Like I said earlier, there's also the option of meditation. Meditate, relax your body, calm yourself. And then of course, I know that some people, it's hard for them to wrap their head around letting things go and meditating. That's just not their thing, right? Well, as many of you know, if you've been following me, I also try to find all ways to help my family holistically. And one of the things that we started doing was the X39 patch. So this is a patch that you put on your body, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. It's completely natural. It has organic crystals in the patch, and we put off infrared heat. That patch, the crystals in that patch reflect the infrared heat back into our body, and it sends a signal to our brain to increase a specific copper peptide, which then stimulates the body's own ability to heal itself. Okay? This patch is by LifeWave, and LifeWave does not claim to cure, diagnose, or treat any disease. And the claims we make for this patch is that it will improve your sleep, improve your energy, improve your skin, and decrease the inflammation within your body. I have seen all of those things, okay? But this is just their overall body healing patch, okay? They have other patches that are specific to certain things. So for instance, I was talking about stress. Well, they have a patch that is actually focused on stress, and it is called EON, which is EAON, and it literally is a patch that has different crystals in it, still same concept, phototherapy, and it reflects the infrared heat that we put off, and it sends a different signal to your brain to help relax you and to help decrease your stress naturally. That one again is the EON, EAON, I believe is how you spell it. So that is one thing, and to be honest, I am now contemplating whether or not I'm going to go ahead and order that patch for my husband to see if it kind of helps him relax a little bit, because things are a bit stressful right now. Another, patch that they have that I now have put my children on. I originally was having my kids on X39, but the reality is my kids don't need increased energy. The inflammation in their body probably really isn't as, that high considering they're kids. So I was like, well, maybe I don't need X39 to do all of those things for them. So my biggest focus for my kids is making sure their immune system is boosted. So they actually have what's called a glutathione patch. This one is specifically focuses on increasing your glutathione, which is our body's own natural antioxidant. So it helps boost your body's own immune system. And I can tell you, one of my kiddos just started summer care, a bunch of new kids in the classroom, brought home some bacterial or something. You could tell because he was stuffy and all that stuff. I put him on that patch, and literally the next day, he's already in the end stages of any bacterial, viral, where they're just trying to cough everything up and get it out. I didn't even realize that he was having drainage, but he was, and so he's already at the end stage, and that was after having him on the glutathione for a day. And I keep him on it, and I still do some of my natural things where when they start having crud in their throat and they're trying to get it out, I'll nebulize with 7% hypertonic saline as well as colloidal silver. So those are things I try to help get them through the end stages. But another one that I'm also trying is their skin patch, which is the Aloe Vera. Love it. I'm noticing a even better decrease in wrinkles and smoothness on my skin. My rosacea is not acting up like it does at times when I eat a bunch of junk food, which is great. I've only been on that one for about 2 weeks now, I think. I've been on X39 for about 6 weeks. I mean, everything that LifeWave claims for each of their patches, at least for the ones that I've tried and I have seen, they absolutely meet it. So again, they have one specifically for stress. If it's something you're interested in, it's the EON, EAON patch. If you're interested in going the route of LifeWave and trying the different patches, they recommend starting with X39 since it is a full body type of patch, and they recommend trying it for 3 months because that's how long, at least 3 months, because that's how long the trials were for. But if you are interested in learning more about the X39 or the stress patch or the glutathione or the skin patch or any other patches out there, because they have one for sleep as well, there'll be links below for more information, as well as a link to order if you choose to go that way. I have to say, stress is a big deal, right, in this world, and it can really impact our relationships. It can impact our ability to work. It can impact our ability to sleep, eat. You name it, and it can have a major impact. And so, I encourage anyone out there to research natural ways to alleviate your stress. Try not to go the medicated route. I know for some people it's nearly impossible, but that's why I'm here. I'm trying to help people find ways that they can alleviate stress and other elements in life the holistic way. Like I said, there's different, you can meditate, but ultimately, for me, more than anything, I just give it to God and I let Him take it. And am I perfect all the time? No, sometimes I give it to God and I'm like, no, wait, I want it back because I want control. And then I have to remember, wait, I have to relinquish control. And once I relinquish control, I see amazing things happen in my life. And I see issues being resolved quicker than I could have ever resolved them in ways I never thought possible. So I know it's hard out there. I know the times are tough. I know things are chaotic in the world. And I really hope that this video will encourage people to trust in your Creator, trust in yourself, let things go, and find ways to help alleviate stress, whether it be through meditation or through LifeWave and their patches. I urge everyone to go out there and research. Another thing that you could possibly look into is magnesium. Sometimes magnesium, if you're deficient in magnesium, it can also impact your stress levels. Check into that. Make sure you get a high absorption rate magnesium. Not all magnesiums are the same, but that's another option. But if you like this content and you want to hear more, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and follow me for more ways to keep your family happy and healthy the holistic way at benaturalremedies.com.